When did you start playing League? What's your story with it?
I started playing 2 years ago.
2 years, okay.
On and off.
Okay.
On and off. I haven't actually played 2 years fully. I mean,
Mhm.
I had like sometimes 3, 4, 6 months breaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice, but what's your peak, Master?
Yeah.
Okay, and just one more, right? But it's
Yeah.
impressive in 2 years, Master. That's really good. That's really good. So, what made you want to improve further?
Um. How can I say it? I don't want to be a lucky player. I want to climb being good,
Mhm.
like being trying my best at the fullest.
You just
So
wanna give it your best shot, right? You wanna prove to
yeah,
yourself that you can do
because
it.
because most games, if I win, I'm going to win because of my teammates. I mean,
Mhm.
I am going to be part of it, but you know, I might get ahead mostly because someone might gank me or I am going to have a good support. But I want to, in general, to improve even if I have a bad teammates.
Okay,
I don't
that's
want to
good.
rely on them at all.
That's really good. Okay, so we can start working on the mid-game aspects and playing with teammates a lot. That's really good. We want to focus on that a lot. So what do you generally play? Lucian, a bit of everything? You have a couple
Yeah, a
champs you
bit of
play.
everything.
Um,
Yeah, I like playing everything, to be honest.
mhm. Meta-oriented. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
meta or usually I break down my opponents, like if they are if they have sustain, if the enemy disease all in sustain or poke, and I decide what's good for me.
I
For example,
see.
if they pick Caitlyn, I might pick a poke.
Or if you have
ADC.
Nautilus, you pick Samir, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I have an engaged support, I might go Samira, Draven, Kaisa.
Okay. Nice. It's nice to have a wide champion pool. I usually recommend to play one or two champions at most, right? But at the same time, if you can manage multiple champions, you can play all of them really well. And to counter pick, that's super powerful as well. This is really good.
I mean, mostly I play for fun as well. It's not just to get the LP.
Well, I mean, yeah, like
Whatever. What? Yeah.
not caring about LP in the first place is good because you just care about the game itself. That's so much more healthy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Can you send me one of your VODs? We can take a
Yeah. I
look.
need to publish it. I streamed it on Twitch.
Oh, okay. What happened in the last 3 games, though? What happened here? Did we mental boom?
Yeah. Uh, I I did the coaching with the first Gatling game, so we're going to look on on the Ezra and the Lucian one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The third game is definitely a mental boom.
Mental boom. Oh no. Oh, your top was winning. Udyr was doing fine. What
Yeah,
happens here?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Want to take a look at that, yeah.
Yeah, we will. Yeah,
No, it's fine. This is why we are here. To catch those mistakes, turn them into good habits. It is fine. Because when you
it's definitely
play
my fault. I
well,
mean,
yeah,
I
honestly, the first step is like admitting, okay, I made something wrong. Let's see what I did wrong. That's really, really good. That's super positive mentality, right?
yeah.
And we're actually playing well. We can see like super good MVP. 14-0, 10-3, like really good.
Oh, whoops. Let's go to the Ezreal game.
Okay. Sure. What is this? The first Kate game, right?
Yeah.
Then we have the Israel one. That's good. Okay. So
It's a quality K. I'm not sure if it's good with the bit rate and stuff. I hope
it'll
it's
be
good.
fine. Or like if we can see the
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
that's all we need, right? It's not
yeah.
anything more. Okay. So first of all, what are your like? What's your habit? What do you do in loading screen and Champs League, right? And Champs League, you probably think about what to pick, but after that, do you think about anything? Do you scroll social media? What do you do?
I just wait to join the game.
Oh, so you're not
I don't
really
have any.
focused. You have nothing to do, right? Like you do nothing in loading screen, right?
Yeah, I just wait.
Okay,
Yeah,
so a really, really good habit we can instantly start forming is like before the game even starts, right? You think about what to
yeah,
pick, which is important, sure.
yeah,
But also you need to think about how we want to play the game, right? And it's super,
mhm,
super, super important because if you don't go into a game without a plan, like if you just have no plan, some things might take you by surprise when you could have expected them before the game even started, right?
yeah,
So a good example is they have heal. You don't know that. You flash basic, they heal. That's awkward, right? That's a simple example.
yeah.
But another example is look, Lul has polymorph. So maybe we don't just E in instantly if she's got polymorph or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely have a plan, like a strategy on what to do and stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is how we need like this is why we try to analyze the matchup, right? So what do you think is
Oh
gonna
yeah,
happen in
yeah.
this matchup, right? What do you think is gonna happen here?
I have no idea what's going to happen. I mean,
Well, let's
usually
try to
I pick
guess,
this stuff
right?
just to learn. But yeah, usually, um,
You know, looking at our champions, right? Let's try to break it down little by little, right? Let's say what abilities do you and Senna have to kill the enemies, right? What's your most important ability? Let's say.
have Q. Senna has Q exhaust.
No, like what's the
Um,
most important ability, right? That
what do you
both
mean?
of you have. Yeah, the most important ability that can just kill the enemies. Like, what's the most dangerous ability you and Senna have?
You don't.
Well, don't you have some kind of CC, for example?
No. Level 1, no.
Well, level 1, no, but let's think about level
Oh,
1,
you
2,
mean
3.
in general? You
Yeah,
mean in
like
general?
level 3, let's say.
Yeah, Senna has root.
Yeah, Senna root. So that's kind of our most powerful ability, right? We have the root, we can
Yeah.
actually fight, we can catch them, right? But if
Root,
Senna.
W, E, Q. Yeah,
Yeah, but let's say Senna misses the root, well, already it's way, way harder to play, right? That's what we need to
yeah.
keep in mind, okay? What about the enemies?
Lulu has shield,
She
polymorph,
has polymorph, right? The polymorph could be really
passive
annoying.
with that butterfly. Gives it to
And
Kaisa.
uh,
Kaisa has the passive. If I get CC, it's going to get procced, I think.
yeah, but what's there like most important stuff? We would say kind of polymorph, right? But it's kind
Yeah,
of easy to play around it because you just don't go melee to Lulu, right? And
yeah,
also we need to think about Kaisa, like her most powerful ability is W, right? That deals total damage. So you just want to
yeah,
avoid her W at all costs, right?
yeah,
Good. So now that we know, she's got W, huge. Polymorph exists, right? We've got Senna root. Okay, we need to play around those abilities. That's kind of all we need to think about in laning phase. We don't need to look at everything and everything that could happen. We just need to simplify the game as much as possible and just look at a couple abilities that are the most important. That's it.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see where the game starts. Minimap on left. Oh my god. That's crazy. Never seen that before. That's
There's
actually that's actually first time,
yeah,
yeah.
I might.
That's
Oh,
crazy. This personal preference doesn't matter, of course. It's just I'm surprised I've never seen anybody used it. How did you start using it on the left? What's your story behind that?
I use it. I copy other people.
Oh,
I
okay.
copy the people I admire, right? So
Okay,
you know,
cool.
I can play with the right map as well.
Oh, you bluff?
I don't like.
Okay. It's crazy. Okay, so what are we doing? What do you usually do level 1 when the game just starts? You go to lane like this? That's it?
Usually I don't have an FK Senna, but I usually um I don't know. I personally would go to the bush with Senna with a support. We either go to the bush um, or stay behind if we know our jungler is going to start top. I usually stay behind and I come from behind,
Okay.
so I don't give the information that my jungler started top.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends on the matchup. For example, if we can seize them level 1, I'm going to stay in the bush and seize them. But
Okay. But let me
that's
ask
about it.
you. Let me ask you this: why do you think? Look at your teammates, right? Why do you think they're staying like that? What do you think the purpose of that is? Right? Do you see how they're positioned, spread out, right? Blocking every
Yeah,
entrance. Why do you think that is?
so they don't get invaded.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't invade it, get info on enemies. If they invade you, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
So if you stay here on their turret, right? We are
Yeah, I
doing
don't usually
nothing,
do that. I
right?
usually place a ward on the blue, on the red,
Or you
or the
place
blue.
ward. Oh, I would
Yeah,
not recommend placing a ward because the ward is so important in laning phase, especially in the season
yeah,
14 when you just get ganked non-stop, right? But
yeah.
what I recommend doing every single game is just actually, scouting out. Like I would say, I think you can see my cursor. Stay at the address there, for example, right? Or if your support
Okay,
goes there, you can stay in front of the tribush, right?
okay,
Because
yeah,
if you go instantly, if the game starts and you instantly go here or here, if they try to go in, they just can't. You see them, right?
yeah.
And you are safe enough because you went there so early. So even if you see them and they try to kill you, they can't because you see them from some
Okay,
far away, right? So
yeah,
that's the best thing you can do level. I need to do something because if you stand under turret, you are not helping at all, right?
mm,
Because if they take the red buff here, it's your fault. Because if they want to invade and take red buff and you see them and they see you, they turn around, right? So that's the
yeah.
first thing, right? We need a plan even before the minions spawn. And yeah, I know scenario AFK, but whatever. you know, that's just unlucky. Okay, let's see how we play the lane phase. So let's see. What do you do about level 2 in lanes usually? Do you play around the level 2 spike?
I try to play with level 2. It depends with what type of support I have. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is the thing I wanted to become better. Is my laning phase and my position and to trade and
Okay,
get
okay.
overall control of the lane. So you know,
Yeah,
that's
because
I can't answer this question because I'm not that
yeah, I see that you play like aggressive. This is like Samira, Caitlyn, Ezra, Lucian, right? So I can
Yeah.
see why you really want to improve laning phase because it's so important for those early game ADCs. Okay, let's see how you manage this. Okay. Then I come. So I just want to watch the early, like level 1, 2, and 3. Those are super important because they dictate how the lane is gonna be.
I got minion block.
Well, if you lose a few minutes, it is what it is, don't worry. Happens to
Yeah,
the
it's
best
fine.
of us. I don't know what's a nice donkey. well, well. This is the game you wanted to
This is
show
what
me.
I'm saying.
Sheesh.
That I'm either going to win or I'm unlucky. I don't want to have this.
Well, when this happens, it is what it is, right? But it's still not
Yeah.
too late to come back from this, right? It's die it once, it is what it is. One thing you could do, also a really nice habit to have, is, like what do you think you should be doing? I'll pause it at the right moment. Boom, you see this? What do you think you should be doing right now? Instead of pinging Senna, what should you do? This is like even if your
But
support ins, right? There's still something you could improve, even in this scenario, right? What do you think you could do here?
I don't you guys, I guess.
Well, your Q was cooldown, whatever. No, it's not even about in game. It's about on the scoreboard, right?
Not lose my mind.
Well, that's for sure, yeah. But instead of pinging Senna, what do you think you should be pinging instead?
Plus,
Kaisa flash, right?
yeah.
Kaisa flashed. And why do you think it's so important to ping that?
So we can get a gank.
Yeah, so your jungler
We can use it.
knows, right? Because if you
Yeah.
don't, your jungler has no idea if she flashed or not, right? He's doing wolves, he's not looking. And this is the first example of why playing together with your teammates and treating them like humans, right? It's so
Yeah.
important because if you pick Kaisa here, Noxer might be like, Kaisa flashed, okay, Senna comes back, I take red buff, maybe we go for a gank. Kaisa no flash, easy. Okay?
Yeah.
But if you don't do this, Noxer would be like, well, I full clear, nothing to do, right? That's
Yeah.
why it's so important. Go remember that. And even Senna here, like, there's no need to lose our mind because maybe she DC'd. It happens. What if you DC? Do you want to get trash talked and spamping if you DC? Not really, right? So there's no
Yeah.
reason to do it. Okay, and now we farm a bit under turret until Senna comes back, which is all we can do here. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another important thing that happened here is
I don't even remember why I did that, but yeah,
it's
skip. Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
no, don't worry,
I know.
because we can learn something really nice from this, a nice concept, right? And that is it's closely tied to teammates as well, right? And that's
Yeah.
like play with teammates no matter what, always, right? And
Yeah.
here, you know, Senna's far, Noxian is still super far. We don't try to initiate anything, right? There's no reason
Yeah.
to do this. And if the cannon was even lower HP, right, maybe it would have been a better reason to do this, right? But right now there's no reason because teammates are too far, right? And you'll see more occasions like this where you want to play without teammates, but you just can't. And those will be more obvious in mid game, right? And we'll take a look at those. For sure, it's gonna happen again. Okay, recall you're too low. Do we get a kill? Nope. Okay. So another important concept, and like my goal when I coach people is to teach them how to form good habits, right?
Yeah.
And one good habit you could do right now, and you could do it every time you leave the base, is try to think about what to do next, right? So right now, instead of being the Senna, right, we could think, okay, where's the enemy jungler? What's the enemy doing on bot lane, right? We need to think about
So
all
I
of that.
should mind my own business in
Yeah,
general.
yeah. It's just
Okay.
this is the time when you go from base to lane. Is the time where you can't do anything except walking to lane, right? So right now is the best time to think because in league mechanics don't matter. The champion don't play matter. They don't matter at all. The only thing that matters is knowledge and making good decisions, and having good habits, right? And making less mistakes than the enemies. So the more you think, the more you're actively using your brain, your mind into the game, right? To actually think what you need to do, the more of an advantage you have overall. So right now, this is the perfect time to take care of, like to make sure we get an advantage in knowledge, right? So right now we have a lot of time to think, okay, what information do you have? Like, because League is kind of a game where you are supposed to gather information and then do something with that information, right? So right now, what do we know, for example?
Then SFK.
Well, sure, she's AFK, she's bot lane, whatever.
Yeah, and enemy jungler knows that Nocturne has no red. He's behind.
Well,
So I think that's what
let's learn how to like gather information properly, okay? So important information, pieces of information are samurai spells, for example, right? Enemy positioning, ally positioning, and objectives alive right now, right?
Yeah.
And maybe trying to think about where jungler wants to go as well. So what do we know here? Let's try to think about all this stuff. Because right now we can learn a lot about the current state of the game. Right now, if you just look at the map, right?
But Scuttle is up.
Scuddles are spawning, right?
I'm in lane.
And maybe I should pause the game right here after Noxian gets killed. Okay, perfect. Right
Kaisa and Lulu is coming back.
Well, right now, what do you think Kaisa and Lulu are doing? Right? They're recalling, probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know they're recalling. Great.
Yeah.
Which means they're going to be base, and we come to lane sooner. Okay, perfect. What about our teammates? Let's look at our teammates. Like, what are our teammates doing right now? If you look at the map.
Azir recalling.
Okay. Malphite recalling. Okay. What about Nocturne? Where do you think
I'm
Nocturne?
not. Yeah, he's recalling, I guess.
Yeah. No, Nocturne is in base, but where do you think he's going to go as well? It's also important. Red buff probably, right? Perfect.
Yeah.
So right now we know Senna is bot, enemy bot recalled, mid and top are recalling, right? Whatever. Nocturne is going towards this red buff. So let's try to make a plan, knowing all this info, right? What do you think we could do right now when you get to lane?
Push a wave. Or
Well, let's look at the lane state first of all. There you go. There's how the wave looks. Okay. So let's try to make a plan, right? Because we have like 30 seconds walking from base to lane where we can just make a plan.
yeah.
And that's super, super
So I
important.
think the enemy has what 20-30 seconds as well to come
Yeah,
because
they're coming
I
soon.
was yeah, they're coming, but
But they're not here yet. Yeah, they're not here yet. We have some time without them yet here. Okay.
I could push
Okay, let's say you push.
but no, but actually I want to slow push this and then
Now, first of all, let's think about our possibilities, right? You could
yeah.
push or you could slow push, right? Those are the
Yeah,
two
yeah,
options we have at the moment, kind of, right?
yeah.
Okay, let's think about what happens if we slow push, for example. What do you think will happen in the future?
If I slow push, I'm going to stack the wave which is at the tier 2 tower. So I think since I have only one item, I won't be able to fully crush the wave. So it could potentially put me in an overextended position for jungle ganks.
Yeah.
And we have no vision, so
yeah, exactly. Okay.
I would rather slow push this, and and go from there.
Oh, I thought you were talking about slow pushing when you said that.
Yeah, if I fully push it, there is a possibility that I could get overextended without crashing the wave, so it resets. So
I
might
think
be
so.
in
Don't you think you? Okay, so let's talk about pushing here. Like we just push these minions instantly, right? And then after we push this wave, right? What do you think we could do right after we push the wave? What does that allow us to do? Because you mentioned no, we have no vision.
place words.
Place wards, exactly, right? So one very very strong strategy, especially when you are trying to come back in the game from an unfortunate situation like this, is to try to regain some control of the lane, right? Right now we are coming back to lane faster. You have time before enemies arrive, which means you can push a wave. And if you push a wave, what does that mean? What do the enemies have to do if you push a wave?
Try to catch it.
Yeah, they need to catch it. So they're going to be there catching the wave, which gives you time to set up vision, right? Noction is bot side. So setting up vision is even more important because it allows, it gives Noction even more information, right? And what we are trying to do in League, especially as an ADC in the early game, we need to play with our teammates. That's the most important part about it, right? So right now, if you shove this wave, we go place a vision ward in the river, in the tribush, whatever. After that, look, we already have a base. We have vision. We are in control of the wave again, right? We pushed it. We are playing aggressive. Maybe you have longer range than them, right? We could poke them. So that's a great spot. But if we slow push, for example.
Wait, is the screen moving or what?
No, I'm just talking at the moment, right?
Okay.
So let's see what to do. Because if we slow push, for example, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't give you a chance to go and set up vision, right? It doesn't give us any information. And slow pushing, they could kind of freeze the wave maybe if they're super powerful, or who knows. But the most important part is like we want to have control, right? We want to play when we have good vision, and when you slow push, you don't really want to do that if you have no vision because you're just stuck on the wave farming, right? But what's important again as a good habit you need to form this good habit of go from base to the lane, and then we think, okay, we can push or we can slow push, and we choose one option, right? And we try to find reasons why we should do one and not the other. And if it doesn't work out, okay, we'll think about it after the game why it wasn't good, and we'll think about the other option. Maybe it's better, right? And that's how we improve from our mistakes. Okay, so right now, pause the game right here. Also, really nice thing about the game is that the map is our best friend, and the map always tells us how to play. So right now, we look at the wave, we look at the map. What do we know, right?
Lulu's mid.
Lulu's mid, Ramos mid, perfect, right? So what does that mean for us?
Should push this, and try to trade with Kaisa.
Well, push if you wanna get plates, for example, right? Or you wanna set up vision for free, or But the most important part, you said trade with Kai'Sa, right? Kai'Sa is alone. Right now, we should be going towards Kai'Sa, hitting her. Senna will join us, right? We are 2v1, we don't need to be afraid. We need to trade, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to handshake, let her farm, get XP for no reason. That's the most important part. We know this because we just have information that the map gave us, right?
Yeah.
And also, one other
I didn't do
important...
any of that, I think.
Well, we're going to unpause in a sec. I just want to say another thing, which is... try to be more assertive in your games. And by that I mean, if you think you deserve to climb, you think you're a better player, right? It
Yeah.
means you know more than your allies. Which means this is also why we ping summoner spells in chat, so allies know. This is why we try to get vision, so allies can see enemies, so you see enemies too. And this is why when we know something, we know Lulu is mid, Kai'Sa is alone. This is why we ping a lot to let our allies know what we want to do. Because Senna might not realize that Lulu is mid. Senna is probably focused on the high MS, on the fact that he DC'd. He's not focused on the map at all, right? So it's our responsibility to let our allies know what we want to do, right? Because if we don't do that, well, we are just letting Kai'Sa farm for no reason when Lulu is not even here, right?
Yeah.
And we're basically not doing anything to win the game, right? We are not punishing any mistakes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah DC'd again. That's unlucky.
So I think now they're going to freeze the wave. I mean, come on.
I
Some
mean-
dignity of the opponent. Like, come on, man. I'll freeze this shit. Like, come on.
I don't think the wave is frozen. They've got... I mean, probably not. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
But anyway, okay.
They tried.
Okay. Let's think about... let's analyze this situation again, right now. If you think you can't really hit the wave because they freeze, why don't we try to do something else right now, right? And what do you think we could do here?
What I could do is,
Yeah.
I mean,
We could do something
I could
here, for example.
row mid.
Well,
walk to
bro,
the
mid,
river.
there's nobody mid at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So what
Probably
else?
walk to the river.
Okay. And if you walk to the river, what do you do after it?
I check for the scuttle. What's it called? Scuttle, I think.
Scatter crab, yeah. So maybe
yeah.
we could go get the scatter crab, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What else do you think you could do while you are in river? If there's no scatter crab, for example, there's no scatter crab, but let's say we go to the river. What else could we do?
Provide information that it's taken.
Exactly, provide information. Okay, provide information. Look, if you look at the map right now, what is Nocture doing, right? Right now.
Just going for the
void
these
traps,
thingies.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what can you do to help Nocturne right now? What would help him a lot?
Deep ward, maybe.
A deep ward, or what about warding Drake, right? Because
Yeah.
if you ward Drake and we know the enemy jungler is doing Drake, well, Nocturne is like, cool, we get void grabs for free. I don't have to worry about anything. I can smite whenever I want. Perfect. You helped Nocturne by placing a ward, right? It's insane.
Yeah.
But if you just sit here, okay, we're AFK, right? You say Senna is AFK, but you are AFK, right? I know you are trying to get the minions, I know, right? Sure.
Yeah.
But you had a ton of opportunities right now, you see?
Yeah.
To do something else when we can't do anything here, right? We try to think outside the box when we have awkward situations like this. Because I feel like in League, every single moment, there is something you can do to improve the state of the game, right?
Yeah.
That's what we try to go for. And that's how we win. We become assertive, we try to become the captain of the team. Like we tell our teammates what to do because we have the most knowledge, right? Okay. Right now, after you push, you get a ward. That's a good habit. You will never want to play past the middle of the lane without vision because you might get ganked and you're dead.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have vision, you have to know information like Ramos is top, and you know that right now, which is good. Okay. So I want to ask you another thing here, and that is It's again closely tied to playing with teammates. Okay. So, okay. What do you think Senna is trying to do right now?
Trade with them?
Try with them. Okay. What do you think Kai'Sa is trying to do right now?
Get the minion.
Get the minion. Okay. And Lulu is super far away.
Yeah.
So if you trade right now with Senna together with Senna into Kai'Sa, what does that mean for Kai'Sa?
He's going to get chunked.
It's gonna get chunked, and she has to choose between getting a minion or trading back, right?
Yeah.
So why are we sitting so far back, right?
Yeah.
You see? And I also again wanna talk about this is when it comes to that loading screen part about the game and why it's so important. We know that our most powerful ability is the Senna root, right? Right now it's up, it's available. We are strong.
Yeah.
And we also know that their most powerful abilities are Lulu Polymorph, but she needs to be really close to do that. So it's not really an option for them right now. And also Kai'Sa W, but Kai'Sa can W if there's minions in the way, and there are right now.
Yeah.
So which means we are stronger than they are. So instantly, the moment we know this, boom, we go in, we trade with them, we fight. It's good, right? But let's say Senna misses her root, that's when we go back, right? And look here, for example, Senna hits the root. Lulu is super, super far away, just use her abilities. Why don't we E forward and Q her? Yeah. Especially because she just used her Q on the wave, right? And this is why the loading screen plan is so important, because the moment you recognize the most powerful abilities not available and you have yours, you know you can trade, you know you can fight, right?
Yeah.
You don't even have to think about it.
And the thing is, if I combined that small moment of trading with Kai'Sa when Lulu was mid, I mean, now it would have been a very favorable trade, for example.
Yeah, and this is a really good point you're making, is the fact that making a mistake here and there is fine. It's not game losing, right? But if you make multiple in a row, then it's really bad, right? So so far you made so many little mistakes on top of each other, and now they stack up. Yeah, they stack. But if we just prevented one,
have been forced to go back, for example.
Yeah, imagine we just didn't make that one mistake of not realizing Lulu is mid, and we trade 2v1 and she's chunked.
Yeah.
Well, already we are so much better. We just prevent one, and we could have done so many other things before that, right?
Yeah.
And this is also closely tied to the fact that like if you have a bad habit in a game, like not getting information from a map or anything, not realizing Lulu is mid or whatever, doesn't matter, just a bad habit, and you turn that into a good habit, you realize that even though you changed only one thing about how you play the game, you're making less mistakes in the game. And that's because one single mistake is made multiple times in a game, right?
Yeah.
So this is why improving a league is not that crazy hard. It's because you don't need to fix everything about yourself, just a few things that are the most important, right? And you already see huge improvements.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this trade, oh well. It's fine. But we wouldn't be at this point, right, if we just didn't make those mistakes in the first place. That's what's important to know here. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. We again try to look in the map, try to gather intel. We don't know where the enemy jungler is, right? That's how we need to constantly be thinking. We read the map, know the enemy jungler. Nocturne is here. Nocturne doesn't have ult. He might get ult from Krugs, maybe, right?
Yeah.
So based on that, let's say, look, we are unsure what to do. We keep the wave slow. We don't shove it like crazy. Junglers might be really close. We just keep it slow and steady until we gather more intel, okay?
Yeah.
Good. We see Nocturne going top side, okay? We know enemy jungler could be bot. Oof. Which means we should play a bit slow, a bit safe, right?
Yeah.
And this is how like we kind of go gather intel in the early game in real time, right? Ramos is top, he just got vote grabs. Okay, we could fight 2v2 if they don't have powerful abilities, and we do. Great, we know that. Perfect. right? And this allows us to just know exactly how we need to play the game at any moment in the game. Oh, look, she used I mean, Senna used W on Kaisa. Kaisa doesn't have W, right? Let's look.
Yeah.
It is again closely tied to that loading screen part plan. Kaisa no W. Senna used powerful ability on Kaisa and it connects. Oh my god, we used W, ult, basic Q, basic E, basic boom, she's dead. We kind of win. No?
Oh.
Don't we win? Don't you think we could at least made Kaisa like 200 HP?
Me?
Yeah, don't you think we could have damaged Kaisa a lot more here?
Yeah.
Because again, Kaisa uses W, Senna hits the powerful ability, you W basic ult, Q basic, whatever, doesn't matter, E.
Yeah.
And we just automatically win the lane here. Because this is so good for you, so huge for you. Especially because you're level 6 and they're level 5, right?
Yep.
And this is why I always say that the loading screen plan is so important, because it gives you confidence and it allows you to win because you know exactly what you need to do. But if you go in the game without a plan, well, we are exactly in this position where, I don't know, I'm just waiting for a jungler maybe, right? But if there's no jungler, why don't we learn how to play the game without a jungler, right? Because you can win 2v2 in a lot of cases. And let's talk again about this moment. And okay, what do we know here?
Make room for the new kid on the block.
What we just didn't we just learn after what Senna did, what Lulu did?
What? Can you repeat it?
Like what do we know? Like, you know, what do we see again? In laning phase, we know from the loading screen that we only need to care about Senna root.
Lulu has no flash.
Like we need to, yeah, sure. After she flashes, sure, yeah. But we need to care about Senna root, right?
Yeah.
And polymorph and Kaisa W. That's all we need to care about right now, right?
Yeah.
And that tells us how to play. So right now, the
She
moment
didn't use polymorph and I got shit.
Yeah, the moment you see Lulu flashing forward, Senna using root, it's like, okay, Kaisa has W, Lulu has polymorph, and we don't have the Senna root anymore, right? And it's not even under turret. So we go in 1v2 when they still have their powerful abilities, and we get polymorphed and we die, right?
Yeah.
Right? See, it's like we're seeing a pattern.
And then I blame the other.
And then you blame the Senna. Like, if anything, right here, you know, Lulu flashes forward. How come we don't just turn on the Lulu, right? Lulu is 1v2 at the moment. She's playing 1 vs 2. Kaisa's really far away. Well, why don't we go on Lulu, right?
Yeah.
Like, going on ADC is a good habit, but it's not always the correct answer, especially when they have the powerful abilities. You just want to hit the closest target, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, if anything, how would you rate your, like, mentality, your sanity in League, usually? And be honest with yourself, right? Do you think you are super chill?
I used to be super chill, but I got filled with delusions.
Okay.
That I think that, yeah. 1 sec.
Okay, sure.
I'm back. Yeah, I used to be super chill, but I got filled with delusions that I deserve, more. Because when you hit like a high rank in a small period of time, you get delusional, and you think you're evolving again and again and again, and and you feel like for example, in my case here, for example, in this moment, when I got filled with delusions, that I felt that that Senna was not doing his best, right? Like I said before, that I should mind my own business. I didn't mind my own business, and I started blaming, Senna.
I agree that Senna wasn't doing her best, for sure, right? But I hope you agree that you yourself were not doing your best either, right?
Yeah.
We could have done so many other things.
I'm filled with delusions. That's why, I'm here to learn, right?
Yeah, honestly, that's really good mentality. Like, knowing, okay, I look at myself, this is how I behave. Yes. And I can actually give you a really good example, and that's myself. If I go on my PGG and I look at past divisions, right? Look here. I start silver, gold, plat, I was improving, diamond. And look, diamond, hold on. 4th season in diamond? I was kind of like you. I thought I was really good. I thought I was doing good. I was improving. I wasn't. I was hard stuck, right? And the
Yeah.
moment I stopped thinking about that, I started thinking about myself, look, master finish, GM finish, finally challenger finish. But that's only because I put my ego aside and I said, okay, I'm the only thing that can change in a game, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same for everyone, including yourself. And you already did the first step, which is asking for help, trying to see what you're doing wrong. Because I hope you agree in this game. If Senna played the same, not perfect, but you played better, you would have won the lane, right? And the moment I realized this as well, that even if I play with the bad support and I can still win lane, I just got
Yeah.
surprised that it's actually winning a league is not that complicated, not that hard. Especially because most league players don't know these concepts we're talking about. They don't know how to gather information. They don't look at allies, enemies, right? They don't think about what to do in laning phase. And that's why a lot of people plateau, like yourself. They just don't improve anymore because your mechanics can only carry you so much, right? But without knowledge, you can't improve anymore. And that's just how it is. League becomes more than a game after a point. Okay. So let's see what happens next. Okay. The laning phase, at least we learned a lot from it. Let's see if anything else happens. Is this game super one-sided? What's gonna happen this game? I wonder if we can at least like still learn from it, especially mid game. Probably we can. As I don't know if I should talk too much about what's happening right now in the laning phase here anymore. It's like we're kind of low and it's just a fiesta. We already talked about what's super important in the early game, and if you just didn't make a couple of those mistakes out of the like 10 or I don't know how many we made, it would have been way better already, right? So let's try to think a bit about the mid game, right? So what's your mid game plan usually? How do you play the mid game in most of your games, let's say?
Usually, I will be honest, I've been watching in-houses, LEC in-houses for like a month.
Really nice.
So my whole mentality changed, how to properly rotate on objectives and stuff. But usually my game plan is, to get priority in my lane, which I felt like I'm super weak. I think it's obviously, I think this Ezreal thing, VOD is proof that I'm super weak. But usually I want to get lane control and then rotate around objectives, invade with my jungler,
Yeah.
After that, I mean, usually I want to gain control, and mid game I want to rotate mid and do objective, invade, team fight.
Exactly.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we lose. We go next. That's it.
Okay, but what about in mid game when you go mid? What do you play around in mid lane in mid game? What's your most important objective basically as an ADC? Like how do you see the game in mid game?
Usually my main objective is to push the waves and rotate on objectives or team fights.
Okay, so basically in mid game, the way I see the game at least as an ADC, mid game becomes a turn-based game. So basically you get the mid wave, then it's your turn to do something else. We rotate, we go with teammates, maybe on objective, maybe we set up vision, right? And then 30 seconds later, back to mid lane, we grab the wave. And then we do something else again, right? That's how we become super consistent and we make less and less mistakes. It's because we just get the mid wave, we force the enemy ADC to farm that mid wave, and then we rotate, and then we play by outnumbering the enemy. That's the easiest way to win every fight, right? Okay. And also mid game is the best how do I say best time for ADCs to shine, because especially if you gather so much intel like I'm trying to teach you right now, it's because you know so much, enemies don't know anything, and you know where you need to be, exactly where you need to be, and you know how to play with teammates, which enemies don't. Enemies play all over the place, but if you play with your teammates, and we're going to look at that when mid game actually starts, you're just going to perform way better than the enemy ADC. And that's all you need. You just need to play better than the enemy ADC, and you just win the majority of your games. Okay. So for example, right now in this position, You know, try to look at the map and tell me what the situation of the game is.
Azir is about to die.
Well, no,
Very quick.
let's count. Like mid game, I mean not mid game. Mid game for sure. Most of mid game is just about counting, right? How many enemies are top lane?
3.
How
4.
many allies are top lane?
3.
Okay, and what about bot lane?
2.
Two allies and Kai'Sa. And what about Lulu, for example?
Don't see Lulu.
No idea, somewhere, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, we know Lulu could be behind the Kai'Sa here, but we also know that, look, Lulu is not here yet, no matter where she is. Senna is trying to trade with Kai'Sa. So, why don't we join, right? Oh, Lulu is top, look. Oh, we just missed it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So you see, look, when we are in this lane right now, okay, we are watching the map, we see Lulu top. Oh my god. Wait, we are 2v1. Wait. 2v1, right? Oh my god, we know we need to go. We have this knowledge, important knowledge that, like, why are we not going, right? You know? You see how it is?
Yeah.
You ping her, why do you think you pinged her back in this game? Why do you think you just pinged her to Senna to go back? What's your reasoning behind that ping? What do you think?
Probably I didn't pay attention to the map at all, Lulu.
Yeah, you probably didn't
Top.
didn't have that piece of information, right? You didn't
Yeah,
focus on
I
it.
think, but and the other is I guess it would probably be get the minions first and then go for Kai'Sa.
Well, sure,
Can
but
walk him out the turret.
yeah, that's true. But you also gotta realize that why do we need to go to the turret if Kai'Sa right now is stepping up too much anyway, and we can punish her right now, right? She shouldn't even see the light of day when she's playing 1v2. That's how we should be playing.
Yeah.
We should just move all the way here and start poking
Yep.
her non-stop. Because
yeah,
the
if I went in, I would have zoned him out from the minions, and
exactly.
I think, yeah,
And it's like
he has more minions, and potentially we can zone him out from other waves as well.
yeah,
And instead, if I push a wave, he's going to get the minions, not
yeah, like
punish him as much.
you can. It is your choice to like push the wave, try to get plates poker under turret, or try to freeze and go from there. Right? That's also a good option. That's up to you. It's situational. That's not the most important part. The most important part is that you need to recognize that this is a 2v1 and you should be in control of the lane right now, right?
Yeah.
And also another important aspect of this is the fact that does it matter if you hit this minion from where you are right now, or do you hit this minion or this minion from up there, right? The thing it matters from where you last hit the minion. Not really, it gives the same amount of gold. So if your goal is to try to punish Kai'Sa and farm, why don't just we stay further up? Because we can still grab minions, right? We don't need to stay here to farm. We can stay up there and farm. Right? And you have you almost went in. You kind of wanted to go, then you ping Senna back when, look, we could have just punished this Kai'Sa like crazy. Right?
Yep.
And this is pretty much only happened because we didn't recognize that it's a 2v1. And this is why gathering information is one of the most important parts about League, because again, mechanics can only carry you so much.
Yeah, this is like the fourth. This is like the fourth mistake, I think, not trading with Kai'Sa. That could potentially win me the lane.
Yeah, like imagine like this is like the second time Kai'Sa was 1v2 and we didn't punish, right? So one mistake happened twice in a game. Imagine, like crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
And the thing is, with all my games, like with the other guy which I talked to, like we had the same conclusion.
Nice.
So.
Oh my god, yes, we go in. Let's go, we go in. No enemies, yes.
Wait for it, I think something bad is going to happen.
No, we go in, it's good, it's good.
Oh, never mind.
It's good. There's no way this is bad. They just got void grabs with Nox and we outnumber them, right? Very good. And this is, again, another reason why gathering information is so important, because it just tells you how to play. You don't have to think about anything because you just look at the map. It tells you how to play the game. You count, 2v1. Ah, easy. We just go in with everything you have and we win. Doesn't matter if we make a couple mechanical mistakes. Doesn't matter. We just win by default, right? That's why gathering information and playing around the information you have is so freaking important. And besides that, right now, talking about information, right? We look at the map. Oh, what does the map tell us? Oh, 3 enemies are missing. Oh my
I should
god.
recall.
Just recall. Right? Because look,
Like you ping Senna.
Ping Senna.
I'm not sure why I'm pinging Senna.
you know, instead of pinging Senna here, you should be pinging Senna to back off, and you should go back as well, right? You see?
Yeah.
So it's like it's crazy how
Probably
much we can
pinging
improve.
because he's taxing my turret or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say another nice heavy to have is just don't greed for those plates in the early game. Doesn't make sense. If you don't know where the enemies are, you never get plates. It's just a simple rule you can follow, right? This Senna, yeah. Honestly, just I saw you had chat off. Never turn the chat back on. I play with chat off as well. It's just way nicer. You don't have to type, right? You can mute enemy pings if they are distracting. It's so much nicer to just play and worry about yourself.
I don't have a sound. I don't have sounds.
Mhm.
To do up sounds of the ping.
Yeah,
Oh my god. I feel embarrassed for doing that, but you know.
No, honestly, like it's good that you show me this game because you don't need to be embarrassed about your mistakes and your personality. You are who you are. But what we are trying to do is to become a better version of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean,
right?
I was tilted as well for Senna being FK, you know, but
Yeah, but there's no reason to do that. Like when I see my top being 0-4, I don't get tilted. I just try to carry the game anyway. And sometimes it works. If it doesn't, well, at least I tried. It's fine, right? Senna FK, oh well, I'll play 1v2 for a while. Maybe she'll be back. We'll be back in late game. It's fine. Or maybe Senna will play 1v2 because Lulu is roaming and we try to punish 2v1. Doesn't matter if Senna is AFK, she comes back, we play 2v1. Even if she's weak, it's still a 2v1. Kai'Sa doesn't win, right? That's the mentality we need to have. Like, basically try to do your best, keep the game going for as long as possible because you never know. Enemies might int really hard. They might go AFK, they might get disconnected, and you just win. Just because you didn't give up. Right?
you probably will in this Zilla. They usually throw.
Yeah, like
games.
throw, like every other game is just being thrown. It's crazy. Right? So, let's talk about the game right now here, because we just started the mid game. And the mid game again is about getting waves, then doing something else. Okay? So, and gathering information. So, what do we know here, for example? What information do we know? Right?
We know that Nocturne wants to start the Herald.
Okay, Herald alive, Nocturne Herald. Okay.
Azir is recalling. And we don't know where the other 3 people are.
No, let's take everything in order, right? Let's not miss anything. That's what we need to practice, just how to gather information properly. Azir recalls, you and Sen are mid lane. Nocturne does Herald, Herald alive. Malphite looks like he's going... Yeah, he's pushed away, looks like he's going towards Herald. Okay.
Yeah.
What other things do we know? Let's look at the mid wave. Mid wave is really far. So right now there's no reason for you to be here. You don't really need to be here. Because there's nothing to do. And why is there nothing to do right now? Why can't we go on the Kai'Sa, you think? What else did we not talk about yet? We only talked about allies, wave, and Herald. Let's talk about enemies.
We don't know where Axan is.
Well, there's 3 enemies we currently don't see, right? So right now, if you try to trade with Kai'Sa here, you're playing 2 versus 4. Because if you don't see an enemy, you always assume they are here in the closest brush to you. Right? That's how we should play.
Yeah.
So right now, if you try to kill Kai'Sa, it's 2 versus 4. Okay?
Yeah.
So, this is not a good play. We don't do this. What else could we do instead, for example? We have a couple options, right?
Help Nocturne. Walk towards Nocturne.
Walk towards Nocturne, help you get Herald, because look, if you look at the top, enemy team has slain Mountain Drake. Oh, Rammus has just finished Drake. Okay, we help Herald to do it before Rammus arrives. Cool. Okay, let's say we don't want to do that. What else could we do? I don't know. Anything besides farming.
Ward the bush. I have one ward.
Ward. Okay, we could go ward. Sure. Right? We ward. If they come, we see them coming. Perfect. But instead, look, we had 2 good options. Like, I also want to mention that the league is not about choosing the best, perfect option every time. No, it's about choosing a good option out of a couple, or even a few sometimes.
Yes.
And this is why, again, gathering intel is so important. because this would never happen if you walked Herald. Because again, I wanna show you here that basically you just killed Senna, not Ramos.
Yeah.
Because if you walk Herald, Senna will walk with you. If you set up vision, if you just ward towards the dragon that brush and then you leave the brush, Senna wouldn't have died to Ramos because you see him coming, right? So you could have done something to prevent Senna from dying, which is just insane. The moment I learned this, it blew my mind that I can prevent my allies from dying by just doing something better. And
Yeah, by doing a
not
good
even-
decision, maybe.
exactly, right? And
And then I'm pinging him.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my
right?
god.
You killed your
Yeah.
ally, then you ping them. Isn't this crazy, right? Isn't this crazy that we do this?
Yeah, and then not only I killed my ally, then we lost Herald as well.
Exactly,
Oh my god.
right?
Oh
do,
my God.
do you see some patterns
It's me, I
starting to
guess.
form, right? I hope you
Yeah,
see
it was
how
me.
I hope you see League in a different way now, because League is not really what it seems to be. It's a bit more complex, but even though it's so complex, I like to break it down in simple steps and make it as simple as possible for myself. That's why in laning phase I
Can
only
we-
focus about the most powerful abilities. In mid game I just count, right? That's all I'm doing. What do you
Yeah.
want to say?
Can we watch now the Lucian game? I don't like how this is going afterwards. Me and Nazir was
Sure,
I was-
let's see. Oh, I'm just gonna skip through it in case there's something important happening. I think this just we get hit. Nothing
yeah,
much.
and then
Yeah, it's just
I'm so
one-sided.
filled with delusions. I'm starting to talk to Azir to tell him come voice,
Okay. Okay. It's
and
fine.
tell me what I did wrong. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I hope if anything, like I opened your eyes, right? Like there's so
Thank
much we can improve, and yeah, our goal is to just turn those bad decisions, bad habits into good ones, and learn how to get that information better, because that's what League is all about, right? So okay, let's get to this game. Okay, loading screen, right?
This game, I'm obviously mental boomed, and also we got counterpicked because we picked Lucian Nami, and they picked Aphelios Way, and and now my game plan is don't get hit by any ability because there is no way I can dodge any ability, and yeah, it didn't work
Okay.
out unfortunately.
So let's think more in depth. Okay, let's actually break it down a little. Okay, let's start with the beginnings. Lucianami.
Yeah.
Okay, what's powerful about Lucianami? What do you have that's powerful for you, right?
The bubbles.
We have a bubble,
Level 2.
and we also have Lucian could dash in and deal insane amounts of damage, right? That's what you
Yeah.
can do to them. You either bubble them, or you go in, or you do both. Okay, good. That's what we know about
Can I
ourselves.
dash them? Can I dash on them though? Because
Like when I try to analyze what's the most powerful ability of our team, right? I
in
just
general,
think about, I just isolate it. We can bubble
yeah.
and we can go in for damage. Okay, that's all we can do. Now let's look at the new team. What can they do, right?
He can, as a starting point, they can hit me from afar. If Wei starts with Q, he can hit me like with everything.
Yeah, so Hui has like projectiles,
abilities.
right? He's got
Yeah.
many abilities.
Aphelios has his Q. No. Actually, Aphelios does have level 1 no, but
Like early
level
levels.
2 Aphelios has his Q.
Yeah, he's got the level 2 his Q, but it's like whatever. It's not CC. It's just a bit of damage, not even that much. But the Furious only comes online when he's got purple gun, right? That's when you need to worry about
level
him.
3. They are
Level
shield.
level 3-4. He's got purple gun already. He can CC you.
Yeah. They can
But-
CC me. They can chain CC me, and they can poke me as well.
Yeah, and
With,
and Hui as well has like projectiles that can CC you. Okay, so they have like they're long range. They can throw CC at you, especially Hui can just throw projectiles that CC you. Okay, and you know you have Nami Q, and you could go in and deal damage with your E. Okay, but let's now think about Hui. We know he has fear. That's his only CC. He can just fear you, right? So what can you do to prevent that from happening, right?
Bait their abilities.
Well, you could bait their abilities, sure, but let's say, there's one coming straight at you, and what can you do to prevent that from hitting you?
Plus,
You could
Cleanse.
flash. You could flash,
Yes,
you could
yes.
cleanse the fear, you could flash the ability itself, or you could use E to dodge the ability yourself. So you have
Yeah.
3 ways to dodge Hui's fear, because that's the most important part, right? Because in early games, usually just the CC is important. Those are the most important things, right?
Yeah.
So we know that. We know we can prevent it, which is really good. It's going to help us a lot in this laning phase, creating a plan like this, right? And we also know that if Nami misses Q, well, we need to be a bit more careful, right? We don't want to go instantly if Nami misses Q. Okay, good plan. And here I would say let's try to play for that level 2, because level 2 is like Aphelios is kind of useless anyway, whatever. But you have early game Lucian, Nami's gonna have Q, she's gonna have E most likely. You go in, you deal tons of damage. And if Hui fears, you just cleanse. You can win. We know that. Great. We have a game plan, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
I didn't have a game plan then, but
No, like
let's see
exactly.
what
Like this is why you try to form good habits, because you see how easy this lane becomes. Like if Nami misses Q, we chill. If Hui throws something at us and Nami hits Q, we can cleanse and then just go in. Or if he misses stuff, we can just go in. And that's it. Like it's so simple, right? It's so simple to play this lane once we analyze it like this, right? And this is why it's so important to do it every single game. Because it just automatically know, Hui missed that ability. Perfect, go in. It's just all we need to know. They don't have their most powerful ability, we go in. It's instant snap decision and we don't even have to think about it because we are thinking about it right now. So we don't have to do it in game. Okay. Let's look at what's happening here. Hopefully we hit the minions. Okay, Hui doesn't have that anymore. He's useless. Aphelios no abilities. Great. So
Yup.
already,
I know.
right? Already we are not
you
playing.
See, this is the same mistake I do. Like this is the third game, fourth game, fifth game. You know,
Yeah,
it's the same mistake that
it's
that goes
really
with the
good.
games, I think.
It's really good that you see it now, right? So in the future we improve and we don't do this anymore, right? So instantly we go to lane, we hit minions. Hui uses that. They have 0 abilities left. Nami has her ability, whichever it is, and you have your Q. We freaking walk forward. You see how Nami is walking forward? You see how she's trying? She could have even went crazy. If you went with her, she would have followed you anyway, right?
Yeah.
But instead, we use Q on the minions. We walk back when there's no threat, and we let Nami play 1 versus 2, right?
Yeah.
But imagine we Q basic attack and then basic attack again for no, you got first strike. Q basic attack pretty much. You'd have chunked them like 200 HP by yourself, then Nami a bit more too, and wow, it's already looking so much better, right?
Yeah, and then I'm pinging to be careful.
Yeah, for kind of no reason, right?
Yeah, and we also get level 2 as well because we have lane dominance, and then we can pull them as well.
Like,
more.
There's no doubt in my mind here that you can get level 2. Aphelios doesn't have any tools to hit the wave, right? If you really want level 2, you can Q the wave and you get level 2 faster anyway, right? Of course, I don't recommend right now, for example. I don't want you to Q the wave, because if you Q the wave now, you won't have your Q up at level 2, right?
Yeah.
But let's see. You get level 2. Oh, we are backing off. I mean, they did have level 2 earlier, but, again, if you make that game plan and know that even at level 2, we are way stronger.
I'm face palming.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good that we see this, right? It's good that we recognize, because if we don't look at our mistakes, how the hell are we going to improve, right? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So we're level 2 finally. And now we just play around those abilities again, right? That's all we have to do. Literally all we have to do. Oh, Hui used 2 abilities. He's got no abilities. Aphelios has only a bit of damage. Okay.
I'm going. Oh my god.
Here we could, look,
This is not nice.
Hui is so far back, he's no abilities. You could have played a bit closer to Nami. E forward, hit Aphelios a little bit. Now we just used E on you. Oh my god, this is such a good trade already. Right?
Oh shit.
But instead,
I see it now.
And now it's like Hui has abilities back. Nami just used her abilities. And now we go in. Right? You see?
Yeah.
So this is why we just need to put more thought behind our actions in a game plan. Exactly. It's so important. Because if we have that game plan, this stuff will never happen ever. Right? We just know exactly what we need to do.
Can we skip forward? I don't want to see the laning phase anymore.
Okay, we'll see. I just want to mention that I hope you see that it's not actually that complicated and that hard to fix these mistakes, right? I hope you see like it's super doable, right? Super manageable. And I believe that the hardest part about this is recognizing what the mistakes you're doing, right? But now that we know, there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to improve after today, for sure, right? It's not going to happen overnight. You just need to have confidence and keep going daily and just keep
Make it
focusing
muscle
on yourself.
memory.
Yeah, make it muscle memory. Make those bad habits, turn them to good habits, and they become muscle memory. You don't even have to think about it anymore. You get a double kill on bot lane, and then you instinctively look at the map. Oh, mid missing. Okay, we don't shove this way, we recall. Boom, a good habit you can form instantly, and you don't even have to think about it. It just becomes part of you, who you are, right?
Oh, I shouldn't look. So my decision making should be before the action, right? Like, for example, look map, decide quickly what to do, etc. Like, is it a good practice to do the same thing at the same time? Like, look at the map and farm as well.
I mean, you don't have to like non-stop look at the map and farm. Like the map updates every few seconds, basically, kinda, right? But for example, right now, look, we're kind of walking to place a ward right now. Or you are there, whatever.
Useless word.
Yeah, but let's say right now, okay, look, we could go place a ward. Okay, we go towards there to place a ward, and while we're walking, look at the map. We go back, look at the map, get that minion, look at the map. Right, it's a habit. Get this.
Yeah.
Look, right now I'm looking at the minions. I'm getting that one. I'm gonna get the melee one, and now the other minions are like full HP. They're not gonna die in 5 seconds. So right now, there's no reason to look here. You just look at the map a bit. Okay, Udyr is pushing there. Enemy only has camps bot. Enemy jungle is probably bot. Their bot is coming soon. Nam is here soon. As the recalls, oh my god, we know so much already, right? It's crazy. It only took like 3 seconds to say all of this, but you, in your mind, you find this information even sooner because you don't have to say it out loud, right? And this is how you become a way better player. Just learn how to gather information and apply it. Because this is all League is all about. No need for fancy mechanics or anything. Okay, so right now, again,
We're going to go for the cannon again. Oh my god.
but just choose W, right? Or you go basic attack and you E backwards to dodge whatever they have. Whatever. You can do it, whatever. But Aphelios will hit you and it roots you and it's not that great. But anyway, this is not important right now. Sure, it's important, but what's more important right now is, remember, like we talked about the information we just gathered on the map like 30 seconds ago. What do we know? Like, what's the most important part right now?
That Phyllis just came from his base.
Okay. What else do we know? Like, let's try to like what's important, right?
They're level 3.
Okay.
Phyllis has more items than me.
Sure, that's
And
fine.
they have all their abilities.
Okay, that's only in
And they
this
know
lane.
that, and they know that I want to go for the cannon.
Yeah, okay, but what else do we know outside of lane? Right?
Jungle is missing.
Oh, jungle, look at the map. Oh, I said like Udyr is top. No camps for enemy top, so he probably bot. Okay. Do we have vision? Do we have vision?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
don't.
imagine here, we would have placed that ward actually. We could have actually played a bit more aggressive because we had vision. But now, we're in this position where we don't have vision, we know enemy jungle is probably bot. So even if the enemy is in, it's like we kinda can't really go in ever because we know enemy jungle is here, right?
Yeah.
So, well, this trade happened. Again, these trades will stop happening to you. Like right now, well, it happens, right? You did know about this stuff. But now I hope you realize how this situation will kind of happen less and less often, right? Because we're just going to go in again with a plan, which is
And we
way more
know
solid.
that we see jungle top.
Okay.
Can we go after they break the tower?
Yeah, I think this laning phase is kind of going to be the same, right? We kind of go in.
Same
does
mistake
work out.
again and again and again and again and again and again.
That's fair. Let's see. They break tower really soon.
Yeah, and then I'm just pushing bot. I know that I fucked up, but
Here you try, you almost outplay.
I'm
Oh
just
well.
I'm
Okay.
just trying to, you know, take the pressure away. Which I think I did take the pressure a little bit, but
Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah. So I think we got the Drake, right? Great, you farm this wave. Okay.
never left. I never left bot.
Or never ever.
Oh no, I did leave, but
Okay, let's say you get this wave. Okay, boom. Okay, perfect. We watch the map. Like this is gonna become such a good habit. You grab a wave, then you watch the map. It's such an important habit. What do we know, for example? I mean, it's harder to look at this when it's a still image, but while you're farming, right, the game is not unpaused. Game keeps going. Look, we have the map. Way, Aphelios, mid, Rel, mid. Udyr is here.
you know they're mid and they could potentially come bot.
Well, sure. Yasuo
I
missing.
mean, my
Attacker
goal was to
missing.
push away to go for the turret, so
Okay, but
that's
this
why
is
I
why
said
I'm
that.
asking, like, this is why I want to gather info, because by the time we come here to this wave, we already gather so much info, right? So right now we know, there's a couple of them mid, somebody TP top. Well, we have no idea about Yasuo. We've never seen Yasuo, right?
Yeah.
Which means if we go bot, we might meet Yasuo, and that's kind of bad, right?
We will.
So we don't really win 1v1, right? Which means, look,
Yeah.
we're trying to do something else because, sometimes you're going to be forced in the side lane, especially if you lose lane and it is what it is. You're just going to get those side lanes until you're back in the game, right? But you're still doing the same things. You're still gathering intel, you're still counting, right? So
Yeah.
if you go here and Yasuo is here, you're dead. And you know where he is, so you can do that. But instead, let's say we go mid lane. We try to go towards mid. If Yasuo's mid, you're there, you could take a 4v4, you might win, right? Sure, great. Or if you go mid and Yasuo's bot, well, you go mid, it's a 4v3. Oh, you win that for sure, right? So already it's way better than... it's always better to do something you're certain of, right? If you go mid right now, it's at least not a bad choice. But going bot is just bad, right? Because there's a huge unknown, which is Yasuo. He could be there to kill us. And if there's something unknown, you don't want to do it. It doesn't make any sense to do it because more often than not, it's going to happen. And let's see if it's going to happen or not. And also other thing I want to say is that once you make a decision, right, here, okay, you are like, meh, whatever, I'm not going mid, I'm going to go bot, see what happens. Okay. We go bot all the way. We commit to bot lane. We don't just go bot and then we walk and then we go back and right? Commit. Yeah. It's also important, again, it's about like becoming assertive and telling your teammates what to do as well, right? You have this information, we are trying to make a choice and we stick with that choice. And then see what happens. Most of the time, because we get that information correctly, it's going to be a good choice, it's going to go well. But sometimes it's not going to go well. It's going to happen. It won't go well. Here you go bot, it's not going to go well. Then we just look after the game, okay, why did that not go well? Let's try to think what happened, what information we had, what other choice could you have made? Because I'm sure you are going to find yourself in this exact situation more times in the future, right?
Yeah.
And this is like, these situations, if you just analyze it now, you're going to know exactly what to do later, the next time you counter it, right? It's just, League is about patterns as well. It's just, things happen things repeat all the time. And yeah, look, it's like I can predict the future, right? It's like I can see the future, right? And it's not really that hard. Like once you know how to gather this intel, just look at the map. Things like this become really trivial and you get better and better at it. And again, these players like you yourself, like you didn't know this stuff. Nobody teaches you this. The League tutorial doesn't teach you this. So it's understandable, right? But if you know this, you have such a huge advantage over your enemies. It's insane. It's broken. It's overpowered, right? Because you never die for absolutely no reason. Okay. Back to bot. Just gonna stay bot non-stop. Ideally, you wanna go mid sometime too, but
yeah. I was going to go mid, but I was like, okay. I mean, my teammates were fed, right? So
I mean, like,
Um,
I should at least like try to annoy the enemies and take the pressure,
yeah,
so
but
they know like Lucian wants to, take towers, wants to take the waves.
Mhm.
So
But yeah, like if you think, okay, my allies are fed, I'm gonna let Azir stay mid. He's got more control. Cool.
yeah,
One thing you shouldn't do, you probably know it, is this, right? You shouldn't challenge Yasuo, right? You're behind, so
yeah,
there's no way you win,
yeah,
right? So your goal when you're behind, or your team is doing reasonably well, is to become as light as a feather, right? You just don't want to die. You want to just take as much resources as possible, but you don't want to take any chances. Just gonna play safe. We don't try to 1v1 anyone, because we don't really do it. We can't win. And Udyr is coming here, right? But he's not here yet. So you just want to wait for him first, right? That's
yeah.
another thing you want to do. And this is tied to playing with your teammates. And I never actually. This is a good time to talk about another important like concept that you should really know, and it's super powerful to know. It's about tempo and like what I call tempo lines, right? So basically,
Yeah.
like draw parallel lines to the river. They're usually not all the time. They're not parallel to the river all the times, but you basically look who is actually in combat right now. And right now, the tempo line is kind of up here, like that. It's just Nami, Set, Azir. They are fighting Hui, Rel, Aphelios. Two enemies are dead, right? So right now, the front tempo line, there's three enemies, three allies. And on the other tempo line, what is further back, it's an Udyr. He's not doing anything. You are on the further tempo line. You are not doing anything. You are behind in tempo, right? So when this happens, when you find yourself off tempo, aka your teammates are doing something and you are not, your number one priority, what you always need to do, and it's always correct, is to get yourself on
Get
the
on
front
tempo.
tempo. Get on tempo. Do something. If you don't, you're AFK. Right now, if Udyr pushes bot lane, he's not doing anything. Sure, if he's hitting the turret, yes, he's actually hitting turret. He's engaging, he's doing something useful. But right now, for him to hit turret, it's gonna take 20 seconds maybe, and that's way too late. He's 20 seconds off tempo, right? So he needs to do something else, like faster. And first of all, like maybe he should have stayed bot for so long, right? He could have went top instantly instead of going bot there, right? He made a mistake as well. So this is what happens when you're behind in tempo, right? But the opposite happens when you are ahead in tempo and your allies are not, right? So right now, if you look at this situation, who do you think is on the front line?
Me.
You. Allies, well, Udyr is walking. Nami is walking, Set walks, Zin maybe catches the wave. So you are on the front tempo. Allies are not at all. And on the enemy side, it's Yasuo on the front tempo, and he might even have allies behind him, whatever. But it's important that you're alone. Nobody's gonna help you. Nobody's even engaging mid or anything, right? Let's say if there's a Baron up and two enemies come bot, sure, you wanna stay bot because you're actually holding two enemies bot and allies can get Baron. But it's like, even if you're not with allies, you're on the tempo line. You're actually doing something useful, right? To win the game. And right now, you just don't want to act alone. I say this most of the time as a rule. It's good to have rules like this. Just when you're alone on tempo, wait for teammates. He's coming. He's not here yet. We don't want to do anything. He's not here yet. We just want to chill. Because if you don't, we die. Right? And we go back to here. Look, we are doing the correct thing instinctively, but if you think about it, it's gonna make a lot more sense in the future, right? It's not just gonna be an instinct. You're actually gonna, again, you wanna be in control of your games, right? So right now you're on tempo. You wanna get on tempo as soon as possible, right? We could lose the
Most of
fight.
the time, I'm like, I need to go with my teammates. Like you said, as an instinct. I didn't go with, I didn't think of I'm off tempo. I need to match them.
Yeah, but I really like it. Think about like tempo as like a line, because also with that Baron example, like you don't always have to be next to teammates and taking the same fight they're taking. You could take a tower and you're still on tempo. You're doing something to win the game, right? Taking a turret is actually trying to win the game, right? But farming is, you're just farming while teammates fight. You're not doing anything to impact the game, the outcome of the game, right? You getting 200 gold here doesn't really change anything if you could have done something better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, look, we look at the map. So enemy is dead, Yasuo is bot. Okay. Nobody's doing anything. We kind of chill, maybe go bot farm. Cool. Perfect. Right? I want to say again, you gotta be careful in these side lanes because it's crazy. Do you flash the tornado? You don't? Yeah, we gotta use that flash.
He overextended, so he died.
Yeah, like
That's
this is a perfect example of that showcases how enemies have no idea about these concepts, right? Look, Yasuo is just alone. No, he's with Cassiopeia on the front line, right? Cassio and Yasuo are on the front line right now. And they don't know anything about Nami and Udyr. So basically enemies are playing 2 versus 4 right now, right? So he should never engage because he knows the game is 2 versus 4. And he engages and look, he dies. Perfect, right? Of course, you could have lived, you just flash. That's a mechanical thing, whatever. Mechanics don't matter as much. But I just want to show you the concept that it pretty much works every single time. Yasuo died because he didn't pay attention to this stuff. Okay, and once again, let's look at the map, analyze anything else happening. Here is just chill. When there's nothing happening, really, we just catch waves. It is what it is. Usually we want to be mid, but when you're so behind, sure, we let Azir stay mid. That's fine. Okay, now, perfect example here. Perfect. Okay. Teammates are trying to do something. They are looking for a fight. Okay. How do we put ourselves on tempo as well? Right? What do you think? We have a couple options here.
Push bot and come, group.
Yeah, well, you don't even have to push bot. If you just think they're gonna fight instantly, you just go mid instantly. You wanna be there if a fight breaks out, right? If you do that, you're on tempo, you're playing with teammates. Great. Another thing you could do is
my,
like
my decision making on this one. I think it was push bot because
so Yasuo can really push this on his own if you leave, right? But again, you gotta be careful not to get caught by him in that brush. You W the brush, or it's like, okay, we see Yasuo top as they're pushing mid. Okay, how do we put ourselves on tempo instantly, right? And you kind of want to take the shortest route option most of the time. And in this case, it's like, okay, we either go mid instantly or we keep staying bot. That's it. We don't do anything in between like you're doing, right? When we are behind in tempo, we want to get on tempo as soon as possible. So we make a decision and we do it. Even if you die bot, for example, right? At least you try to get on tempo. You tried to put yourself in the game, and at least you're keeping somebody bot lane. Because if you're just finding yourself in between here, well, you're not even keeping an enemy bot, right? For example. So you just want to do something at all times. Let's see. So allies are kind of dead. And whoops, we are putting ourselves in a weird situation now. Position. Were you trying to catch an enemy here? Probably, right? A big Aphelios.
Aphelios.
Yeah, I hope. Well, basically, what do you think happened here in this situation? Why do you think nothing good really happened here?
Well, the play is dead. I should have just backed off.
Well, it's like I would say it's because you didn't make up your mind fast enough, right? You didn't join your teammates instantly. You didn't push bot instantly, right? You didn't do anything instantly. You just kind of wasted a bit of time here and there, right? So this is why making these snap decisions is so important. And if you find yourself in these awkward spots, right, when you join the fight late, well, what you could do is just not make it worse, basically, right? Because, oh well, but this is just a fiesta. Let's try to find a better example, because there are going to be some situations that you're unsure what to do, right? You're going to find yourself, I don't know what to do here. And this is why, again, we want to take that snap decision. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see what happens, right? You don't want to be in between all the time. And it's fine not to know what to do in certain situations. It's perfectly fine. You just improve over time and it's going to be better overall. if you do that instead of being indecisive. Let's see what else is happening. Okay, we're finally mid lane. Let's go. There's a Baron up. You don't want to be bot. That's the rule, right?
Yeah. You know, I think I went bot because I didn't want set, which is my bad. I didn't want to set the carry to stay bot because I'm useless. So
Well, I wouldn't consider yourself useless, honestly, because you've got one item. You can do something, right? You've got level 11. It's not bad.
yeah,
And playing with confidence is just much better. Like I find myself in situations a lot of times where even if I'm like 0-3, like I've got one item and the zeal, I'm good to go. I'm level 9. I can do something. I can, if I make the correct decision and enemies don't, it's like it doesn't matter if I'm one item behind. Like we just take a better fight. We win it by default, right? But being there in the first place is the most important part. And this is why most of the time I say, sure, if you lose lane, if you're so behind, okay, I'm gonna stay bot to get my first item. But after that, we wanna put ourselves in the game, right? Don't just leave the game in your teammates' hands, right? You wanna be in control as much as possible.
I think the game was winnable. Like they had good scores.
Here is like, look, for example, here looking at the map, Essos bot, you are 5 people here. You just fight and take Baron. Like you lose inhib maybe, sure. But when you're behind, losing an inhib and getting Baron is kind of worth it. So here we just ping that we're gonna go in, right? To make a decision. Or, if Set wants to recall, sure, okay. We just back off, all good. Right? But it's important that when you recognize situations like this, you just become assertive and try to lead your teammates to the correct decision if you find it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And once again, they are bot. Wait, how do you die here? There's no way. Oh, surprise. Oh well. This happens. I mean, we could flash, right? I think we could flash. Right? There's no reason not to flash here. Or even better, run towards the turret, maybe. Dash down, flash out. Anyway, mechanical mistake happens. But yeah, I would say if you find yourself in awkward positions when you're side laning or whatever, just be ready to use your flash to escape. That's important, I would say. Okay, because, even if you die or you don't die there, Cassio dies anyway. But if you don't die, suddenly you're outnumbering the enemies, and you could do Baron, for example, right? Okay, let's see what else happens. Okay, we try to match teammate tempo. They're all dead. Well, we go back to farming. And what else happens this game interesting? Anything else interesting?
Spare my FK. Die again and again and again. 2 more times.
Okay, I'm looking at the map. We see one mid, one top. It's a 3v3 here. Try to take it. Well, almost do it. We could have flashed rail maybe. Right, we could have flashed the rail. Mechanical mistake. But yeah, like, I don't want to put too much pressure on you on mechanical stuff because, again, like, you're never going to find yourself in awkward situations if you never make those bad macro decisions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Anything important? Oh, we are a bit too far.
Finally, I get the turret.
Here again, looking at tempo, right? I think you can see you're alone on tempo, right? There's 4 enemies that could be anywhere. Ooh, this is risky, right? Getting turret behind bounty, sure, you're 111, whatever, you get turret. No Baron up. I'd say this was fine. You risked, but you risked it for a biscuit. You got away with it. This was fine. Now Yasuo bot, you go mid. Oh, you go bot. Yeah, you need to put yourself more into the game more, right? You just wanna be in control as much as possible. Okay, a team fight, 5 versus 5, right? Great. Let's see what happens. In loading stream, we're talking about like their strongest abilities and so on in the early game, right? But late game, it's kind of the same thing. You just need to remember a couple more abilities, right? For example, what could kill you in these fights?
Rel engage,
Well, I'll engage, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a Hui ult and Yasuo Tornado, for example, right? So
Yeah.
when we see one of those abilities come towards us, we
Plus
use something.
Lance.
You E away if you have E. If not, you
Yeah.
flash, right? Great. We have a plan for team fights. It's basically bot lane, but there's a bit more enemies, right? It's the same thing. And let's see what we do here. We do on a front line. We want to position ourselves next to Nami. Up, cleanse.
Yeah.
That's a bit awkward.
Yep.
We are too behind this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a Casio too. Another reason why it's important to know all this stuff before a fight, right? Is because the cleanse you can see it was late, right? But if you expect a Casio to ult, you cleanse instantly, right? You basically ignore the ability because you cleanse instantly and it doesn't exist. Okay. I'm glad we found these mistakes, honestly. Like, I would say they are major mistakes, and that's a good and a bad thing, right? It's bad because, wait, we don't want to do major mistakes, but it's good because if you fix a major mistake, you're going to improve a lot more.
Those three are three huge, nuclear mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. But it's good because they're so big. Because if you don't make them, you're going to improve a lot more. Because these mistakes are holding you back, right? But if you make like small mistakes here and there, and many of them, it's way harder to fix. But right now, you only have to fix a few, right? To start with, and you're going to become a way better player.
Those mistakes, because like, if I push a wave and I have vision, I don't die from ganks, but it doesn't matter as much as losing trades or not having a proper game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, someone who has a game plan and is like 5-2, for example.
Yeah.
It's okay if he dies and he just didn't ward a boost, for example. Like
well, we died once, whatever. It's like we played the lane phase so well, we died once. It's
like
not
he's
the end
5-3 now, and he can go like 10-3, 10-4, for example. But if it doesn't matter if you like place wards, if you are like me 0-4, and you rely, for example, on a Leona, on a jungle engage.
Yeah.
To win the lane. Or the enemy mistake is just so big that you just punish it.
Yeah, but yeah, League is about the winning team is the team that makes less mistakes than the losing team. That's all there is to it, right? If you just make less and less mistakes over time, you're just gonna win more games. It's crazy. Nice. So do you have any questions, like anything about today's session? Anything?
No, but I only have one, but it's not really related to a new knowledge. It's just if we can write it down, what I just learned. I'm going to write down, and if I'm doing something, if I mistyped something,
yeah, sure.
Can you correct me?
Yeah, sure. First, I wanna ask you if you're okay with me uploading this on YouTube. If not, that's fine. Just tell me. You're fine.
Sure,
okay, perfect. So you can rewatch this first of all if you want, right? If you don't remember something, right, you can rewatch if you want. This is perfect. But yeah, did you take notes while we were talking?
In my mind, yes. But,
okay. So tell me what you remember, basically, right?
Visual learning. I mean, you told me I had it in my mind, and then I used it to identify the mistakes in the next games. Yeah.
So, what did you remember? Like, what are the most important things you remember?
The first one we talked about game plan.
Right, we go into a game, right? We just need to think about, okay, they have these summoner spells, we have these powerful abilities, enemies have these powerful abilities. We try to play around them. If they use their powerful abilities and we have them, it means we can fight, and it's the same in opposite, right? And I would say, like, try to play around vision as well. If you know you can win the lane, right? Or I want to talk about level 2 here, not vision, sorry. It's like, if you know you are stronger, right? Like in the first game, I'm pretty sure you were stronger because you could poke them, right? You had high range, Senna punishes people in lane early if they're not careful. So if you know that, if you know we are stronger from loading screen, we play accordingly, right? We play as the aggressor, right? Okay. What else?
We have game plan, lane decision, play around enemies' abilities.
Exactly.
Other vision control. Where is the enemy? The enemy jungler.
Vision control. So yeah,
Where is my jungler?
about vision control in the early game. Yeah, you when possible you wanna push the lane, because pushing the lane allows you to keep the enemy under turret while you get vision, right? You get vision, you help your teammates with vision, you can do whatever while enemies are stuck, basically.
Yeah. Then we talked about macro. Nope. Tempo. Decision. Oh no. How should I call it? Tempo.
Tempo. Basically, you
Yeah.
look at allies, you look
Yeah.
at enemies, and you count, basically. And you wanna
Yeah,
be
basically.
doing something
Yeah.
at all times. You don't wanna just farm while teammates are fighting. That's not great. Right?
And then the last thing we talked about was, which is very important, stick to one decision.
Yeah. Just gather information, and with the information you have, make a decision and stick with it. See what happens. Otherwise, you can't really improve. You need to make your own decisions and take accountability for your actions, basically.
Stick to the decision.
Yeah.
Make.
And also, let's not forget about focus on yourself, right? Don't spamming the
Yeah.
Senna, right? Instead of spamming the
Mind your
Senna,
own business.
on your business. And I would say ping more, but not on your allies. Ping more
Yeah.
summoner spells. They use flash, ping it. Remember, make it a habit. Ping the summoner spell. Because if you pick the summoner spell that's used like minute 3, and you find yourself in like minute 6, and you don't know if you've got flash or not, you just turn the chat on, you look, I ping minute 3. They don't have it now. Perfect. You even help yourself if you do that, let alone your teammates, right? And also, again, after you get the intel from the map, you start learning to do it. Ping more and be more confident, right? You know something your allies might know, you ping it. You see the enemy jungler, you ping on the map, so your allies make sure your allies know. You know enemies are coming to lane in like 20 seconds, you ping your support to push the lane. You push the lane, you ping your support to push the lane to help you, right? You think you need vision in the tri-bush, your support has a ward, you don't. You push the lane, and then you just ping your support to ward somewhere, right? Because more often than not, your allies are your allies, right? They're not your enemies. And they will do what we tell them to do. Especially because, let's say, you make a decision in the early game, you ping your support to fight, you win that fight, and suddenly your support will listen to every single one of your pings from now on, right? Because they trust you. Because you're a better player than the enemies and better playing than they are, so they listen to you. This is why being assertive is so important. Nice. Yeah, these I would say are the most important things for you, right? That's what you need to focus on. Because if you fix these mistakes and you don't make them again, or of course, like these mistakes, trust me, I make these mistakes as well sometimes, right? We're not perfect, but we are just trying to minimize them as much as possible, right? From time to time we int, it's fine, whatever, right? It's okay. But just make them less and less often, and you'll just improve more and more, right? And I also want to say, don't focus on everything at once. Just take one thing at a time, right? Really focus about one thing at a time, and until it becomes muscle memory and you don't have to think about it anymore, okay? And once we try to fix all of these mistakes that we are making in these games, then we can start thinking about other things as well, right? Then we explore more. But you're gonna be stuck on this for a while because it's really new stuff for you, and I know it's not easy to apply instantly, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
But no,
I'm
honestly,
learner,
like
you know?
you got master in 2 years. That's impressive, man. I don't know, man. As I showed you, it took me like how many years? Okay, it's impressive.
Yeah.
I think you're a fast learner. You're not gonna have issues climbing from here, I would say, right? You're not gonna improve overnight, as always, of course, makes sense. But you're gonna become better. I guarantee you're gonna become better, especially because you're just not gonna worry about teammates anymore. You're just gonna mind your own business, okay? That's all that matters. Good. Okay. So,
Nice. Thank you.
you're
And
welcome.
I got enlightened.
You got enlightened. I opened your eyes to the light.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just, if anything comes up, you have a question, DM me. I don't mind it. Okay. Or
Yeah.
just come up to my stream, like pre my stream daily. Ask me there. Okay, I don't mind answering questions. And yeah, I'm eager to see how you improve this season. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. See ya.
Bye bye.
This was amazing. Nice.